I love creating the podcast. If you have enjoyed the episodes in any way, the best way to support me is my subscription link. For as little as $3 a month, you can help support the time and production cost included in producing the podcast. Welcome to the Essence of Life podcast. My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a teacher of transcendental meditation and a certified consciousness advisor. I'm also the author of a few books. One of my books is called Pilgrimage on the Path of Love. Second book, it's called The Contribution of Maharishi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life. And my third book is A Guide to Good Health, 7 Simple Health Hacks. In this podcast, The Essence of Life, we're going to speak about different aspects which expand our awareness of the self and expand our understanding of the transcendental meditation technique. In this podcast, Maharishi will be answering questions on the practice of transcendental meditation. First, I will read the question, and then I will read the answer given by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Question: what is meditation? Maharishi: meditation is a process of leading the mind towards the subtler glories of creation, till the subtlest field is transcended to get on to the transcendental divine bliss. Question: what is the difference between concentration, contemplation, and meditation? Maharishi: concentration is the fixity of the mind on one point. Meditation is experiencing the finer states of that one point till the subtlest state of that point is transcended and the state of being is gained. Contemplation is the process of thinking all around that point. Concentration is like remaining afloat on one part of the surface of water. Contemplation is like swimming all around the surface, and meditation is like diving into the depths of water. Meditation explores the glories of inner life. Contemplation explores the glories of the surface of life, and concentration holds the mind in a static position on one point. Question: you say that one must believe in, have faith in the meditation, and not have doubts about it. There seems to be a very thin line between believing and doubting. Maharishi: no. Doubts may be there so long as there is also some faith. Then doubts will be carried along on the strength of that faith. No faith and all doubts, then it will be very difficult. Doubts will be eliminated with practical experience in meditation. Once, twice, thrice, and doubts are not felt anymore. There may be queries pertaining to the meditation itself, but these will be answered through experience gained in the meditation. If the queries are intellectual, these can be satisfied only by intellectual analysis, and these you may not be able to solve completely. No one is devoid of faith. No one is devoid of doubt. Therefore, we take a person as he is. No one is devoid of faith because the desire to enjoy more in life, to know more, to have more power, more peace, to be happier, is natural in man, and this gives him a basis for faith, wanting something more. This is faith sufficient to begin meditation. So we do not reject anyone because he does not seem to have faith. How can he not have faith when he is built of faith? The fact that he has a body has enabled him to enjoy life. And then if he wants to enjoy more, that is sufficient indication of faith. Question: is belief in God necessary to be able to meditate? Maharishi: whether a man believes in God or not, he'll be able to meditate and enjoy the bliss of meditation. When he meditates and becomes happy, he will begin to believe in God. So meditation helps belief in God, but belief in God is not a prerequisite for meditation. Question: Maharishi, does it matter if one isn't specially rooted in any particular religion? Maharishi: whether a man is religious or not, there is the desire to enjoy. The desire to enjoy more is sufficient to draw the mind inwards. Religion or no religion does not matter. When he begins to be satisfied, then he begins to be religious very naturally. If he has been a religious man, then he'll be more profound in a right religious manner. If he is not a religious man, then he'll begin to behave according to the dictates of religion, even if he doesn't wear the label of any religion. It means that he will just have a very good moral philosophy. Question: if one had absolute faith, would one have absolute results in meditation? Maharishi: absolute faith will come only in the state of the absolute. Absolute faith or absolute no faith are both one and the same state, the state of absolute being. In the field of the absolute, that which is the absolute of this is also the absolute of that, the absolute of all relativity. Question: it seems to me that faith does not come into it at all. It either works or it does not work. If it works, you know it. This is faith. Maharishi: and if it does not work, then you know there is less faith. Question: faith can be misleading. It is unnecessary. Maharishi: the whole basis of this spiritual regeneration movement rests on whether or not the meditation works. If it works on the practical plane of existence, but is unable to cope with the philosophical level of understanding, then it will not survive. It will die out. Question: and what happens if one is continuously impeded by agnosticism? Maharishi: it does not matter. He will come to a point where he will turn towards the field of greater happiness. A man is agnostic. Why? Because he sees that in that way he will enjoy more. So he turns an agnostic. For him, agnosticism is a path towards greater happiness. Question: one can be unhappy and be agnostic? Maharishi: then the present unhappiness of an agnostic, if it keeps him agnostic, it keeps him in the hope that it will ultimately lead to greater happiness. It will end this present unhappiness and will lead him towards greater happiness. Therefore, for him, agnosticism is just a path towards greater happiness. Question: I can't see why anyone can be happy to be agnostic. Maharishi: a godly man holds the road to church to be the road whereby he could be happier. Fine. An agnostic turns his back on the church and holds that going from the church is the road towards greater happiness. Question: how can an agnostic achieve God realization? Maharishi: by listening to some people who have attained it and who are prepared to show the path to him. By listening to them, and when he listens a little more and analyzes, he begins to believe. It might be that way. Let us try. What is the harm in it? Once he says this, let us try. What is the harm? He is caught in the trap, and if he gets a proper guide who could lead him that way, instantaneously the faith will increase on the basis of experience. Question: who do you suggest needs this experience? Maharishi: everyone. Everyone who has not yet got this experience needs it. Question: and where do they get it from? Maharishi: they get it from those people who come out to tell others. Question: by going to church, for example? Maharishi: by going to church if the ministers of the church are able to show the path. Question: very often the ministers aren't successful. Maharishi: it does not matter. Some may be successful. If one is not able to succeed, others may. Question: and if one reaches the stage of agnosticism where one doesn't realize the success of ministers and decides to take a standoff position, what then should the route to achieving happiness be? Maharishi: once he takes a standoff position to the so-called ministers of God, then the world is unlimited. Ministers of God of this field he has seen and has not found anyone who is able to guide him. He turns away, and once he knows that greatest happiness has to be found, either from here or there or anywhere, from where it comes it does not matter, but it should come. Once he continues to search, he'll come across something, someone who'll just hint something. He might get along that way. Question: I find it difficult to accept this, but you suggest that you can find happiness here, there, or anywhere. Whereas when you come to think about it, one doubts the possibility of believing in different sorts of gods. Maharishi: it is not necessary to believe in all the different sorts of gods. It is only necessary to believe in one, somehow, and get to that. Question: but even then, if you almost get there, you even then might doubt the correctness in believing in that particular God. Maharishi: no, the experience will not leave any doubt. Someone says, here is the powerhouse. And what are the signs of a powerhouse? The brilliancy of light. Fine. The name is known and the signs are known. You proceed that way. Proceeding that way, when you find that, fine. It tallies with the description given by us, given to us. Question: and do you remain there? Maharishi: at will. Either remain there all the time, or come out and go in, or do anything you like. It is only a matter of gaining familiarity with that realm. This is an introduction to Maharishi's way of explaining the process of meditation and how we gain that state and how that becomes a practical reality in our daily life. If you'd like to learn more about the process of meditation and about the teachings of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, I'd like to invite you to read my book, The Contribution of Maharishi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life. This book has over 100 quotations by Maharishi, and it's available as a Kindle on Amazon. I'd also like to invite you to my YouTube channel, Living Wisdom with Barbara Briggs. And I'd like to invite you to my podcast. As you know, my podcast is available twice a month on most of the podcast apps. So it's been a great pleasure speaking to you today. And I'd like to also invite you to my website, barbaraannbriggs.com. And on this website, there are 2 free ebooks. A free ebook called Blossoms of Love, which has quotations on love by many famous enlightened saints, and my ebook on 7 simple health hacks, which gives an overview of the Ayurvedic practice in which can safeguard our health. So it's been a great pleasure speaking to you today, and I look forward to speaking to you again very, very soon. Until we meet again, very, very best wishes to you.